Hi everyone, we are live here at InGame UK and we are joined with David Newton, who is going to be demoing his game Caterpillar Filler on Tabletopia. To explain, we are running this as a regular Saturday feature called Playtest Broadcast, where we invite up-and-coming or existing game designers to come on and show us their games and run virtual playtests. So, without further ado, let's switch to the group that are going to be playing the game this evening, and we'll do introductions. Hi everyone. Okay, so we'll start. David, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the game?
Other games ever since. This is a new game called Caterpillar Filler. A nice little filler game, sort of, 20 to 30 minutes, in which you play as little caterpillars crawling around a garden looking for delicious flowers to eat to gain enough energy to become beautiful butterflies. So it's 2 to 4 players, and each player moves the caterpillars around, eating flowers. Each time they do, they grow a little bit larger. First to 5 wins. There are also wasps in the garden that you have to avoid, and that'll become apparent as the game progresses.
Cool.
So yes, hopefully it's a lot of fun. I've been working on it for about a year, so I just want to thank everyone for play testing this with me.
Okay, and just what inspired you to create this game?
Well, I guess I don't know if you remember the old Snake game on the old Nokia phone. Yeah. So I thought, I was just thinking about that, and then I started thinking about board games and about how movement could work in a board game, and those sort of came together, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice to make a game about caterpillars? And started getting pieces together and started making a game, and then originally it was all about just eating flowers, and then after that the sort of player interaction mechanic became apparent, and then became about can caterpillars eat other caterpillars. And there is a caterpillar called I want to say the Dunbar caterpillar. Please check me on that. That is carnivorous and can eat other caterpillars. So just basically googling what caterpillars eat and that sort of thing. And that led to sort of interesting sort of mechanics and things like that. So yeah, it was just I wanted to make a sort of a grid-based movement game, so in this game, every time you use a flower, you flip over a letter and a number, and that corresponds to the coordinates and where
we'll take a little closer look at the game in a second. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine.
Apologies.
But it sounds really cool, and I love the inspiration and the kind of family-friendly kind of approach to it all. And I think anything that connects anyone through gaming to wildlife is an awesome little kind of fun exploration. So before we jump into the game, who else do we have here this evening? We'll start with Chris in the top left. Chris, who are you?
Hi. My name's Chris Manley. I'm the organizer of the Plymouth Playtest group, which used to meet up once a month down at the Marina Bar on the Barbican. Obviously, that's not currently happening. So I've organised this online playtest to hopefully trying to engage with the larger playtesting community and hopefully inspire some more people to pick up pen and paper and come up with their own games.
Cool. And final one. Last but not least, Nick. Over to you.
Hello there. I'm Nick Shaw. I am co-designer of Welcome to Dino World and Roam and Roll, and various other solo modes you might see in a number of games. I'm also a member of the Plymouth Playtest Meetup, and I help run some of the Plymouth board game events as well.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's jump straight in, and then David, it's going to be over to you. Okay, 1 second. There we go. Oops. So I just need to scale that down. There we go. You're all slotted nicely into place. And David, over to you. If you'd like to run this as you would a normal demo, and explain about the game and tell us the rules.
Yeah, sure thing. So hopefully it's pretty straightforward. So everybody controls a caterpillar. You have your caterpillar head, which is the purple piece, and a caterpillar body, which is the colour of your associated colour. So I'm the black caterpillar at the top left. So on your turn, you can move 3, 4, or 5 spaces, depending on what you roll. And so if I rolled 3 spaces, I would move the head 1 space, and then the back space to where the head was, 2, and then might be there 3. And so you just move around like that until you bump into a piece of food. So there are 4 pieces of food in the center. So say if I ate this piece of food here, nom 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 nom, delicious, I would get 1 bigger. Hooray! Nice, and it's first to 5 wins. However, some caterpillars are really hungry, and some are carnivorous. So if you were to eat another player, you would gain 1 piece and they would lose a piece. So, you know, watch out for that. I'll just reset the board there. So that's basically it. You don't want to get eaten. It's a bad thing. You lose a piece. Whenever you eat a flower, a new flower will enter. Oh, sorry, I'm cheating. Bring that there. Whenever you eat a flower, a new flower will enter the game. You flip the yellow top tile, which is on the right here, which will give you a letter, and then the orange, which will give you a number, which will give you the coordinate where to drop, where the new flower will appear. 2 more rules. I would say that whenever how many moves you have is determined by a roll of the die. You roll the die. On a 1, you get 3. 2 to 4, you get 4, and 5 and 6, you get 5. If you roll a 1, when you only get 3 moves, a new flower will enter the game. So they start off with 4, then there'll be 5. And it could get more than that. The last rule in the game is that whenever you eat a flower, you get a wasp. And on your turn, you can move, and you may play a wasp. So I could go like that, and that would stop that player from moving there. Wasps don't do anything other than block your position. So you can't move into a space where there is a wasp, because you know, they've got stingers. Everybody starts off with 1 wasp. So on your turn, you roll the die, you move, and then you may play a wasp. If you eat something, you get bigger. As soon as you eat something, you stop moving entirely because you're tired and full. First to 5 wins, and that's basically the game.
Okay. Do you have to use all your movement?
You do have to use all your movement, yes. Okay. But you can do you can do things like, instead of going 1, you can sort of stick around to like what? Oh, sorry, I think the magnetic pieces are playing up a little bit. There we go. Sorry, that's my putting 16 by 16 grid individual magnetic pieces. I think I'll have to. But this is why we're testing, I suppose. Yes. That's one of the things there. Yeah. So yes, there are ways around it by moving in different directions, left and right, and then straight on. Essentially, cool. You can't move diagonal. Let's throw that out there as well. Left, right, or up, down. And that's it, really.
I assume if you reach a wall, you have to turn left or right. You can't.
Yes.
And what would happen if you get blocked? You're going to go into a non-movable space where there's like a corner where someone else is next to you. Do you just stop?
Oh, that's a really good point. So if you move into somebody, you eat them. So it's only wasps that will block you. If you can, yes. So wasps can't. That's a good point. Wasps can't go around the edges. Cannot be placed on the edges. And if you are ever in a space in which you cannot move, all you do is you take off your your caterpillar, and then rejoin on your next turn anywhere around the edge. Okay. Cool. And it's the same if you get eaten. You take all your pieces minus the one that got eaten off the edge of the board, and then on your next turn, you just rejoin on the anywhere around the edge.
Okay. Cool.
I take it if someone ate the head, you just move the head back one space.
Yeah, you don't use the head.
So if anybody eats any part of your body or head, you lose one body piece.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then you come off the board, head and your body piece is -1, and then on your next turn, you just rejoin on the edge of the board, anywhere you like.
Okay.
You have to join anywhere on the edge. So you could join like this.
Just spawn in there. Okay.
But you couldn't join like that, for example.
Right.
Okay.
You have to be
And
entirely on the edge.
Could you theoretically lose all of your body pieces and just have a head? And then could you be eaten at that point?
So whenever you get eaten, you lose one body piece. You never lose your head. So you could just be a head moving around. I've not seen that happen. That is quite unlucky to be to get to that state. But it is technically possible.
You don't know how aggressive Jinners is. That's why.
Let's bring it. Let's see how hungry these caterpillars are.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We'll see. Okay. Who would like to go first then? David. It seems only fair if you take first turn. I think.
Sure. So, and then we'll go around clockwise. So then it'll be red, blue, green, and then back to me. So, I roll the die. I've put in my status what the die means. Oh, 1. That means I only get 3 moves, but a new flower enters on L12. So that is L12 just there. So I get 3 moves. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. And then it's over to, red player, Nick.
Okay. So I'm red. Okay, so give the dice a roll.
3.
So that gives me 2 towards 4 moves.
Yep.
So I have to do a flower first, yeah? Is that right?
No, you only add a flower on if you roll a 1.
Oh, I see. Cool. So I will go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Sorry, this is a really daft question, but how do you determine you had 4 movement instead of 3? Sorry, I might have missed that.
If you look in David's status, he's got a little summary of.
I see. Yeah, I see.
Roll of dice to moves.
2 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
I should also say that you all start off with a wasp. Which I forgot to mention that.
No, that's fine.
So we'll get a wasp every time you eat a flower, and on your turn you can play a wasp anywhere on an empty space.
Okay.
Is it me?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Roll. Yeah. Yeah.
2.
Yeah. So
4 movement.
4. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Should say that the game ends when somebody gets 5 pieces, or we cannot place another flower because there are no coordinates left. So if we were ever to place a flower and we've got no coordinates to place it, the game also ends, and then the longest caterpillar wins.
Okay.
Okay. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, another flower.
Oh.
So is it the next blue and the next orange?
I mean, technically you go down in a column, but
okay. No.
Because they're all randomized, it doesn't actually matter.
Right. Okay. So N2. Oh, look at that!
Oh,
lovely! Must be nice. Must be nice.
Perfect.
6.
Yeah. Full disclaimer: I'm unable to cheat or influence this game whatsoever.
They are randomized at the start of the game.
Yeah.
So, and then so you get 3 movements. Wonder where you're gonna go.
Yeah, I wonder too. 1, 2. So I've got my first flower. Do you take that into your hand or just on the table in front of you?
You take it into your hand, and now you have 2 wasps to place. You drag it down to the center of the screen.
Yeah, I got you. So that was 2 movement, wasn't it? So 1 more.
You instantly stop as soon as you've eaten.
Oh, right. Okay, fine. Okay.
But you do get 1 piece bigger because you've eaten.
Oops. Cool.
And then a flower replaces the one you've eaten.
A flower replaces the one that I've eaten, so I roll the dice
so you
again.
flip over. No,
Oh, sorry, flip over.
tiles.
Yeah, got you. G7. G6.
Already full. Already got a
It's
flower.
already full, so
So you put it in one adjacent square, your choice.
Cool.
brilliant. Okay.
Okay, so that's over to me then. So roll.
Oh, look at this.
I know this is low rolling. J8. Oh, this is this is.
J6.
Oh, is that J6? Sorry, that's my eyes. I was zoomed
All
out.
clustered.
Too much. Yeah, so I've got 3 moves. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Over to you, mate.
Let's go. Roll dice. 4. 4 moves. So I'm going to go 1.
And just to ask about the wasp placement rule, is that any point or any point on your turn?
Any point on your turn.
Okay, fine.
And a maximum of 1 placement per your turn.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
So Janit's has eaten something already, hasn't he? So
Yes.
bloop. Wasp on your way. Eat wasp.
That'll slow him down, yeah. That's
Hey,
interesting.
Chris, over to you.
Okay.
You're red, Nick, yeah? Just.
No, I'm blue. I'm blue.
Yeah. I got 2 wasps for red and blue, so don't worry. K8, okay.
Oh, I love it.
Why are we adding a wasp? Sorry?
Oh, sorry.
a flower?
I rolled a 1 for some reason. It
Oh, right. Fair
Flipped
enough.
over.
Nudged it to a
I
five.
did
I
see
must
it.
have
I
been-
will verify that it was a 1.
Oh, good.
I think I must have had the shift holding the shift down at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. 8.
Wow, it's getting carnage in the center.
So are these weighted towards certain
No,
areas?
they're all entirely shuffled. This is the
Entirely.
first time I've seen them all come out this much, which is interesting. Like I say, every game's different. So yeah, this is...
1, 2. Nom 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 nom.
Oh no.
Gobble, gobble.
That was there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay.
And you get to
then
place another one.
you do, yeah.
And I'm gonna put a wall.
Oh, he's going to wasp it.
Yeah, I'm gonna wasp
Ooh.
there.
Wasp it up.
Interesting.
And another one comes in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, another flower.
M14.
14.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Yeah,
right below you.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah, someone get a wasp in
that's helpful,
M13.
isn't it?
Block
Okay.
him.
My go. I was going to penalise you, Nick, but I think
Ooh.
it'd
I'm
be a
so
little
far.
bit safer
Yeah.
to do that.
Oh, love it.
So,
We play dirty, we do.
3. So that's 4 movement. Okay. 1, 2. That's me.
Okay.
Cool.
Now, yeah, let's run into the center and see what happens. Oops, sorry, that was flip, not roll. 3, it's 4 moves. 1, 2, 3.
So close and yet so far.
I know, it's getting...
But you'll be right next to a flower for the next turn.
That's
Won't
true.
be blocked.
But I'm a little bit concerned about...
We're surrounded by wasps.
Surrounded by wasps, surrounded by other caterpillars. So we're getting very exciting. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. So over to you, back to you, Nick.
Let's have a look. 2. Okay, so I get 4. So 1, 2, and gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
So let's put one there.
I'm not cheating, by the way, but I'm going to take my first wasp that I didn't have.
Yeah,
you should have had one at the start of the game, shouldn't I? Yeah.
11.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And
you do
I'm
get
so
one
tempted to
bigger
put
as
a
well.
wasp in F6 just for the comedy value. Do I want to keep it for strategic? Because I've given it N13 and screw over Chris as well. I can't block Jinners. He's going to get any of those anyway.
Steaming
I
ahead.
I'll make it a bit harder, but I can't. I feel like I've got to do this just for the comedy.
You're blocking me in. Oh, right. Okay, well, I'm forced to do that then. That makes sense, actually, because I might have eaten you next turn. That was
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That does make sense.
Have any of that shenanigans.
Oh,
okay.
That leaves me really open as well.
Okay.
I don't like the look of Chris eyeing my caterpillar up, I'll be honest.
I can see that.
Complete line of sight. He's going to be coming for me, isn't he? Deploy wasp.
Least wasps. 1. 2.
Which way are you going to go? Up or down? Depends where your tail is going to flow.
Oh yeah. 3. Oh, that's not good. Oops, come here. 4.
Nom nom.
Gobble gobble.
Nom 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 nom. Oop, that one.
And you get an extra tail.
Another one.
Your tail can be anywhere connected to your end.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I will probably do that in that case. B13.
Ooh.
Where are you?
Ooh.
Right at the top.
Right at the top.
Heading
towards
back up
Nick.
to there. See, I'm tempted to go back up there, but I also want to go and eat other people.
And I'm going to put a wasp down there.
Oh, it's getting really difficult at the
Fine
moment.
plan, Chris.
Yeah.
Fine plan.
Okay.
Right, wasp in J9, everyone.
I'm going to see what I get on the roll first. 4.
We're not usually this vicious when we play.
2 to 4, so it's 4 movement.
It's supposed to be a nice game about caterpillars. It's all become a bit.
Yeah. Nice, gentle game.
Yeah.
Carnivorous caterpillars.
Ooh.
Shots fired.
That is evil. Evil. Oh, look, just heading straight forward.
Oops.
Oh no, he's going flowering.
Yeah.
Flowered up.
Cool. H10. Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right next to Nick.
Yeah. Oh,
that's beautiful. You're very kind, Jenny.
Totally not intentional, Nick. Okay. That's my go?
No, you've just been kind.
Don't forget.
I've got to add a bit of my body, haven't I?
Yeah, your head is detached.
Oh, yeah, I've just noticed that as well. Cool.
Okay.
Nice one.
Now I've only really got one move, and yeah, so
you can't eat yourself. Oh well.
I can't eat myself, so
I'll eat the flower.
Om nom nom. I'll eat the flower rather than anything else, and then I'll put this here,
A bit.
and I5. So that is oof. I know.
That's pretty nice.
It is. It's
Oh,
like,
that's pretty
wow,
good.
everything's really in the center. And I am definitely going to just put this here.
Oh, swine.
Well, it's the wasp protect me.
Oh, that's the reason. Yeah. Protection.
Yeah, no, definitely protection. Otherwise, I'll just die. So. Over to you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go nom nom nom.
Okay.
Grow a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where the new flower comes out. 03. Right down here.
Wow.
I'm very tempted to deploy my wasp. I could be really evil because it's so tempting to do this, but
take him off the board. Wow.
I think if I direct Jinners up towards you, David. That.
Oh no! Be evil.
Yeah. I'm doing that.
Wait a second. Okay.
Okay, Jinners.
Hey Nick.
Sorry, Chris. Is it Chris?
We haven't played a game together in some time, have we? I wonder why.
We're not used to this.
I'm really vulnerable at the minute. Oh no, that's not good.
Away.
Yeah.
Well, you could head towards me and try and eat me.
Yeah.
You're feeling lucky?
2, 3.
Eat its head.
That's kind of a bit dangerous.
Yeah, that's kind of risky.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. 1, 2.
You can come and eat me.
3.
You're still going to be leaving your tail, flapping in the wind, so to speak. Yeah.
It's 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
May as well head towards the flower.
I'm gonna have to do that. But
nice straight line to come and gobble.
I'm gonna put that down.
I
think
sensible.
That's yeah. I don't think that's gonna actually help very much, but
if I roll a 1, you'll be safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Jinners.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Another flower.
There are only 4 flowers left. Interesting.
Oh, sorry. A16.
Oh yeah, so it's
It's
going pretty quick.
14, 15, 16.
If there's a tie, David, and who has the most at the end, what's the tie break?
The tie break is sudden death, and next flower wins.
Sudden death, I love it. Cool.
Sudden chrysalis.
I've gone, by the way. Nick, I don't know if you've observed my placement of my wasp.
Oh, you're protecting Chris, are you? I see. Also, just making it hard for me.
Well, you were going to come for me, let's be honest.
Well, See, David was going to be right in front of me in my range if he had that flower, so you've protected him as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but the flower will stop his movement, and I still have then a time to react to it, so...
Indeed.
Okay.
It's true.
You've kind of directed me towards Chris now.
Sorry, is it Jinners go now?
No, I picked up the flower. Do I place another flower because I've eaten one, even though the dice rolled a 1?
If the dice rolled 1, you add a flower. Then if you eat a flower, you add a flower.
Okay, fine. Okay. So I've just got to do that.
I was
E4.
missing, sorry.
That's all right. E4. Oh, that's a nice placement for you as well.
It is. However...
Depends what movement you get.
No! That's the last thing I need. Exactly. 23. 1. I can't eat anyone. I mean, not I wasn't going to. So a new flower enters. First of all, F15. So right over here. I've been quite unlucky. So I've got 3 moves. 23.
You may as well grab one while you can.
1, 2,
grab one and then bung the wasp right in front of you.
I guess, yeah. I guess I'll have to.
I'm sorry, guys. I think I forgot to add a piece to my caterpillar.
That's fine.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll just do that. And then
Yeah, I won't risk it. Just keep the wasp for later.
before P6. So
Right down the bottom. Okay.
it is.
Down here.
And then I definitely will put this in front. I mean, this leaves me. Yeah, I'm going to have to. But
Nice. That's
Yeah,
what I
you
was
have to.
hoping you do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll.
So we've got one more.
One more
Oh, a
piece.
6. Oh.
Ooh, 5
here we
moves.
go.
6
Oh,
just gives
no.
me 5 moves. Is it?
Sorry, Chris.
Okay.
Caterpillars on the menu this evening, eh?
Yeah. Caterpillar's back on the menu, boys.
Ah. That's 3.
Hmm?
Just for comedy. I'm going to go this way. 4.
Oh, no, you're just.
Just string it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And shall I move up here? Up here? No, I'm going to go gobble, gobble, gobble.
Okay, so what happens now? Yeah, is red gets
Yup.
one larger. Yeah, and that. And all the blue pieces come off the
Put it
board.
there when I move my head in.
Yeah.
Don't forget your head. There we go. Yum, yum.
Yeah.
So when I respawn, do I respawn with all 3 bits left?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so,
'cause I
so
took one
you've
off.
already lost one, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
took one off, yeah.
Yeah. So all you do is just move anywhere on the outside edge of the board, and that's your move.
Cool.
Okay.
And I don't put a flower out because I didn't eat a flower.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Chris.
Ooh,
Hmm.
Okay.
J16 is a nice place to come in, I'd say.
It's not bad.
Oh, really? Okay. Have we got some sort of caterpillar accord going on here, Chris? Like, I'm vegetarian. I only like flowers. I'm not one of those. I can't even pronounce it. I don't eat other
Does Chris
caterpillars.
still need to roll the dice, even though he's come on the side.
No, that's just his turn.
Okay.
That's his turn. He doesn't need to roll. Okay.
No, it doesn't need to roll.
Hey, James.
4. Okay, 4 movement. I am.
Oh, you can reach. You got a choice.
Ooh. Playing safe.
Yeah, for sure.
Vegetarian.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a little bit further away, but that flower is just too tasty. Oops. Oops.
It's because you've got a piece that's crossing 2 spaces. Your head's crossing.
Yeah, the head.
Okay.
Joined up. I got it.
Got it.
Okay.
And I got another bit to add. And D1.
Okay, so the game will end the next time a flower needs to be placed.
D1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my go.
Oh, I'm really trapped now. I don't think there's a great deal I can do. So, where do you want to go? Yeah, well, let's just roll the dice to start off with. It's not a 1. 4 moves. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Come up here. 4. And I'm going to place a wasp. Green's massively in the lead. Which green want to go? Probably down. So let's stop that. Yeah, that's all I can do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
See.
Okay, so is it me?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Lovely. Oh, a 6 again. Oh, love it. So we go 1.
Tasty flower.
I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk.
That will end the game.
Going this way. 2. Ooh.
Yeah. End the game in a draw, so it'll start sudden death.
Oh right, okay.
So play will continue until somebody is won.
That's cool. That's quite fun.
There just won't be any more flowers added.
Yeah, got you.
Nope. Gobble the flower. Oh, come on, pick up the flower.
Okay, we're now into sudden death caterpillars.
And I'm going to put this.
Okay. Ouch.
Ooh.
So what happens there?
You can't fulfill all of your moves, and so you will pick up your pieces, and then on your next turn you will just join the edge of the board as if you would spawn.
Oh, that's fine. That's actually a real godsend. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, you do essentially lose a turn.
Go right.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Flower.
I'm just going to go there.
Okay.
1.
Cool.
And no
And
flowers.
wasp it up.
Yep. Oh, and I put one in.
Oops.
No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay, so my bits come off the board. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
But I can still place a wasp.
You can still place a wasp.
Okay.
Okay. 4 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I've got no wasps, so yeah. Nick.
Cool. Let's get back to the right window. 4, okay, that gives me 4 moves. So I'll go 1. Oh, miles away from all the flowers now. 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm done.
Okay. The only thing 1, 2. There. Come here. 3. And grab that one. Yum yum. Yeah, come here. Oops. And I'm gonna go there.
Hmm. Then it just forms anywhere on the outside of the board.
Can
on
I
an empty space.
on an empty space? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do I get a movement opportunity or no? Just spawning. Okay, fine.
Just spawning. So yeah, you can just do that.
I'm gonna try and keep my tail as far away from all of you as possible.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's pretty strong. I don't think I can stop you. I've got no wasps left. I've used all mine. 1. No, I'm just going. Well, I've got a wasp now, but it doesn't help me. I don't think. So I'll just go there, get one larger, and that's all I can do. So I think Nick, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away, from anything. So it's close.
Yep, I can't quite reach him. And if I go that far, then he'll definitely get me on my next turn.
That's true.
So I will just run away, I think. So the sudden death is the
until somebody has a larger
until they have the largest
snake. Okay. Yeah. So we've currently got one person.
Jenna's going to get that on his next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so he's pretty much fine.
I'll poison the flower in front of him just.
It's about sending a message, isn't it?
The gardener comes along and sprays them. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Chris.
Okay. I don't think I can do very much of anything. 2, which is 4. It's not enough to.
Yes, it's close.
2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1 away.
Yeah.
1 away from getting my revenge.
My go.
Yeah, and then
Yoink. Oh wait a minute. Let's roll the dice, isn't it? That's
technically, yeah.
2. Doesn't.
Yeah.
Did you get your last one? Jenna's wins.
Yeah. Yay.
Well played.
Nice.
You are the first person to become a beautiful
ultimate
butterfly.
Caterpillar.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Quite a little liking.
The wasps all congregate in the middle there.
Yeah, well, I mean, all of the flowers did as well, so it all just became sort of the battleground in the centre.
A hotbed.
Which is really interesting. A hotbed, yes. A hot flower bed. I like that.
So
Does that happen? Has that happened very often in your other tests, or?
No, normally they're a lot more spread out than that. It was the first time we've had sort of that many that appear in the absolute centre. Which is interesting, and it's also the first time that we've had sudden death in a while as well, having a joint
interesting.
At the moment.
Yeah.
So that was on the longer end of the game as well, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Okay, so I've made a couple of points and observations.
I've got some feedback.
How do you want to do it? Should we keep the board open in front of us and we talk? Or
sure.
Yeah. So the first thing I observed, just going on the logic of the food in the centre, and I know that's not every single game. However, it seemed to bring in a level of realism to it. Now, I know this is quite abstract, obviously, but if there is an abundance of food in an area, you're going to get, the wasps, the caterpillars, they're all going to go towards that central food, and I thought that made it quite interesting.
Cool.
And it added this dynamic of all of us kind of going on the back foot to defend against ourselves while also trying to gobble up as much food as possible. So I really like that. What sort of art style are you thinking of going for?
I was probably maybe sort of cartoony, sort of light-hearted sort of look. I mean, that's probably the next step. Where I'm just starting to have conversations with an artist on that and throwing around ideas. So that's not set in stone, but in my head, I was thinking sort of light, fun, colourful.
Yeah, I can see that completely.
That sort of thing. But no, that's not set in stone though. But that's just my thoughts at the moment.
Okay. And the kind of follow-up question to that is, what sort of flavour text were you going to add, or were you going to keep it very simple in terms of what we're seeing here today, or is there going to be any kind of flavor text around the game?
So only flavor in the rule book. I want to try and keep this as language independent as possible.
Okay.
So that anyone from any country can just pick up and play this.
Yeah.
So it will just, in my head, it would just be a roll mat that you just sort of screw into like a pencil case caterpillar type bag, and then you have some playing pieces. And then all you do is just roll it out, shuffle up the tiles to the letters and numbers.
Yeah.
Put them on one side, and then put the caterpillars down. You're ready to play. So I
got you.
don't want to have too much language.
Yeah, no, fair play. I think the only reason I said it is I think there is an opportunity to incorporate a little bit of learning into it.
Ooh,
so, for instance, the wasp, different types of caterpillars that you mentioned at the start of the game. So from an education perspective, there might be a little bit of a layer that you could add with a bit of flavor text to tell us about some of the research that you've come across in the development of the game.
Like what do they eat? What are the predators? Where do they live?
Yeah.
How long they live for?
Exactly.
That sort of thing. I like that. I mean, that'd be a really nice thing to put in the rule book. So when you're reading it, fun fact, this is what caterpillars eat and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's lovely. Oh, I like that idea a lot. That's definitely something I'll look into. Cool. And from a learning point of view as well, I like the idea of this being. I've spoken to a few friends that have children. And just having things like getting them to learn like map coordinates, and getting them to learn letters and numbers and the alphabet and numbers and things like that. That might be fun. So I think like all ages could play this as well. So that's really nice. Thank you.
Cool. Nick, Chris.
I've got a load of questions, but Chris, you want to go first? Not questions. I've got just suggestions. That's all. Chris, you go first.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked it. It's nice, sort of quick, really quick to pick up and learn. But there's sort of, I can see how each game is potentially very, very different from each other because of the way that it generates. Have you ever tried sort of, I don't know, in the rule book maybe having suggestions of the different layouts of the starting flowers? So having ones where you stick flowers.
Yeah, I've got that note here. Game variation. Yeah.
So I mean that's true. Like I like the idea of that. That added an extra layer of complexity. I like alternative ways to play, where like a game sets up with there are a certain amount of flowers and wasps already on the board.
Yeah.
And you could have just like a row of like 4 wasps forming a line in the center, and things like alternative setups. I'll have to test a few, but that's really a really interesting thought.
Yeah,
I
think that would add a lot, especially if you just have that starting pre-printed ones, but that's kind of the default setup, and you just have suggestions. You can then choose to have these alternate setups if you want.
Yeah, like a bunch of cards that you just like shuffle up and flip over one, and it says, 6 flowers in these places, 4 flowers, only 1 flower, super hard mode. That might be a bit too harsh. I think maybe going down to 3 flowers might be interesting, but 1 flower might be just nuts. Too long for one.
Or a couple of really nutritious flowers that add 2 body parts on.
I thought that as well.
Yeah. So I've thought about that. Having like putting on the number of letter tiles on every 4th one, put a double flower. So when you reveal this, instead of putting a normal flower, put a double flower on there. So every 4th flower is a super flower, so to speak, or something like that. Yeah, I like that idea of a double flower. I'll have to have a think about that. That'd be relatively easy to. Maybe it's a double flower, but you don't get a wasp. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's got me thinking about that. I'll have to play around with that. That seems quite exciting. For alternative setups and things. for replayability. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different modes you could apply to this game if you really wanted to, that may just detract a little bit from what the game is now. You could do like Battle Royale and it's just caterpillar versus caterpillar, and the grid is getting smaller and smaller and smaller until you're all munching on one another.
Like a Fortnite mode.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's loads of different modes you could introduce. Just quickly, is there any mechanics that anyone felt potentially may have not worked, or anything that might?
So the two cons I'll say my pros first because I want to be positive.
Yeah. Sorry.
I really like it's nice abstract strategy. The theme is fits really nicely on top of the mechanics. It does. It feels like and visually looks like playing a game of Snake on the phone. And I think the simplicity of the rule set is brilliant. Yeah, really simple. So the only cons I had was the randomness of the placement could mean that it could be very swingy in favor of one player if all the flowers land near him. I think the shortness of the game means that doesn't really matter that much because it's not meant to be a deep strategy. It's a quick, nice game. And the other thing is the sudden death endgame felt a little bit drawn out in the fact that it was pretty clear Jinners was going to win.
There was nothing you could do about that, really.
There was no point playing out the last round because we knew it. And the dice roll might have changed that, of course, but I think we were all far away enough. I don't know how you get around that with the fact that you could, in theory, roll enough movement to eat someone else. But just something like that for the sudden death. Maybe you have to eat someone else rather than the flower in order to get that. But again, placement means that you could end up being in a much better advantage just because of random luck. They're my only cons, really. For
Could you possibly get around that by saying that when you respawn, you have to spawn a certain distance away from any flowers, maybe?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a cheap move, wasn't it? What I did, to be honest, I got taken off the board because I got locked down, and then. I
realised that after I'd locked you down, I thought he's just going to spawn next to a flower.
Yeah.
But that was
you know me all too well, Nick. Yeah.
First game, you see.
But I mean, that does take you 2 turns because you come off.
Exactly. Yeah, there is a disadvantage that was applied. Yeah.
Indeed.
So you are essentially guaranteeing normally somebody as a catch-up mechanic for confining them. Yeah, they do essentially lose a turn in doing so. But there might be something like that. I mean, I suppose that there's like, if I wanted to make this a game that was super competitive, and so things like you could add like zoning in so that when something spawns, if it is within 3 spaces of a caterpillar, it is moved.
Yeah.
So it's at least 3 spaces away, and the same with spawning around the side. You must be at least 3 spaces away from a from a flower. I don't like. Would that be too complex for smaller children? Or
probably
if you want them to do the putting it back, but then you could have just an advanced rule set if you wanted to. Just to say this is a mode.
I like that as an alternative.
Yeah.
Yes. Have the base set so that's just what happens, and then the 4 flowers in the center. And then if you are playing alternative setups in this alternative setup. Okay, no, that's interesting. I like that a lot.
And I've got 3 other ideas. Well, 3 other. So my first, I think the last question I had, is there any difference in player count with the setup?
Yes. So there is 1 more body piece in a 3-player and 2 more in a 2-player.
So they start larger, or they just have longer to?
They start larger.
Okay.
But
the board's the same size.
Count. The board's always the same size, yeah.
And how is it in 2-player? How does it feel when, presumably they start opposite ends of the board?
That's right, yeah.
And so it's going to take them 2 or 3 turns to get to the first flower in theory. How is the interaction between? Do people tend to avoid each other, or do they? It does depend on the dice and the flowers.
Yeah, it broadly takes them the same amount of time to get to the center point. So in a 4-player game, it's that setup.
Mm-hmm.
In a 2-player game, it is that setup.
Okay.
So you're only one space different from where you start from. So the race to the center is still exactly the same.
Yeah.
There is less. There are fewer wasps that are on the board because there's 3 extra. Yeah, there's 2 extra wasps starting in the game. Yeah, right. But everything else is broadly similar, other than it's a little bit more chaotic in a 3 or 4-player game. Or maybe chaotic is the wrong word. More player interaction, I would say. Or more frequent player interaction, I should say.
Have you ever tried reducing the board size for less players, just to constrain them more?
Well, the way I've done it in that is there are also fewer flower counts as well. So on the setup, on the setup there is you only play to 12 rather than the full 16. That's another way that limits that. You can, like, I've thought about just taking like the outside edge off, something like that, and you just don't play on the outside edge. But I kind of want to keep it as simple as possible. So if there is a smaller board, I mean, there is a flip side of that. You can just have a board that turns over, and you have a 2-player setup and a 4-player setup. But I quite like this to be a roll map, like
neoprene.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. And then with that comes single-sided printing. But it is something that you could do again for different setups. You could say outside edge is a no-go area, out of bounds. That's so I like that idea. I'm leaning towards having that as an alternative setup rules, like having setups from the first game. But I do get your point that
I mean, I'd be interested to see how it plays out as 2-player, to see what the difference in interaction is between the players and the speed that the game goes and the feel.
It gets a little bit more defensive because
you only have one other snake to go for.
Yes, because you only have one other snake to go for, and if you do get eaten, you're obviously behind at that point, and you only have one other person you're competing with. Whereas in a 4-player game, other people can, like we've seen here, put wasps around who they think is in the lead, and then that might slow those down. So there is less of that, less kingmakering, obviously, more slight defensive play, which is interesting.
Cool. Okay. So my ideas that I had, actually we've covered the rest of them. There's only 2, so it won't be long.
Oh no! I love all these. These are great. Please. I'm so thankful.
So I've got a thematic question, which is why do the wasps stay where they are?
And that's an interesting point, Nick.
My
I must admit.
Is, could there be a way to scare the wasps off or to move them out of the way in some way?
A wasp dice.
A mechanic. Oh, wasp dice. That's nice.
With a number and a letter on it.
So if you bump into a wasp, you could roll it to see. I mean, you always have it as push your luck, where you say if you bump into it, you've got a 1 in 6 chance of losing a segment, or you've got a 2 in 6 chance of moving the wasp off somewhere.
Ooh, that's interesting. The question then becomes: so that's I suppose that thematically, the wasps are just going around the garden, and yes, they may not be necessarily all in the same place. And I do get the point. If there was only say 3 wasps, I would say you could move them around. But looking how we ended up here, like moving this many, I think
it works mechanically where they stay put. Fine. I think that's really nice having the blockers. That's very snake-like. It's just a thematic thing of why are they wasps if they don't move.
Would it make more sense if they were snails?
It would only make more
thematically sense it might, if
to stay put, but then why would you not be able to crawl over them?
Oh, they're just in the way.
It's a hassle. They'll wander off.
They're really slimy.
Yeah. I'll have to think about that. I guess my thought is like wasps are like dangerous and have stingers.
Indeed.
So you don't want to.
So you want to avoid them.
You want to avoid them.
Yeah.
Could be spider webs or.
Or maybe something like when you. I mean, this is another idea I had was alternative to wasps, having a different type of piece to again vary the game. But maybe
like
something like
something.
When you have different flowers, as you said, different types of flowers, instead of placing a wasp, you can move a wasp instead, something like that.
Instead of if you have no wasps in hand, you may
move
one up to 2 spaces, or up to a space. Something like that. That's an interesting rule set. I like the idea of spider webs as well.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I'm just So something like that where there is just a spider web. Spider webs don't move though, so.
I mean, that's how you get around the whole not moving thing. Is you say, well, it's a spider web,
so you know.
Yes, there are 2 solutions to the thematic problem of why wasps don't move. Yes, I like that idea. I'm going to have a think about playtesting as how broken that would be, just to stop something like that happening.
When you got locked in, that seemed a bit unfair, to be honest. When I as well, wasn't it? I wasn't able to move at all. I had to come off the board. I suppose that's just the rule, isn't it?
That's what you're trying to avoid, getting yourself
pigeonholed. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of different things you could do, isn't it? I think you can have a.
But I think as it is, it works very nicely.
Yeah, I agree.
I think just a little bit of variety in the setup, and as I said, possibly with a few tweaks to the if you wanted to put them in.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea because if somebody did go like that and block that, you could on your turn move one.
Yeah, and then get through. Yeah,
that is a potential solution to that as well. The only problem with that is if somebody can move. So say I go here because I don't want you to go here.
Yep.
And then they just on their turn, all they do is move it out of the way.
Well, I'd say if you have to move a wasp, then you only get to move one or something, but it helps you get out of a hole.
Yes. I guess. Yeah. So I suppose that's the problem with. I kind of want people to get in a hole. I know that's terrible.
I'm with you. I like the idea of non-moving wasps.
I like the idea of being blocked.
I'll be honest. To me, in my mind, thematically, they were like feeding, and they weren't moving because they're feeding on whatever's in that square. That's how I thought about it. So I personally, I don't think they necessarily should be moving, but there we go. That's just another opinion.
I do like.
I like the simplicity.
Yeah.
I
like the idea of maybe having because there's a lot because there's a relatively large amount of things you can do with any game with game pieces. I like the idea of maybe having like a deck of, I don't know, say 10 cards. And then saying, in this game, set up, put flowers at these spaces, wasps at these spaces. Mm-hmm. In this game, you may instead move a wasp on space. And then, or something like that.
A little bit of variation.
It's a Kickstarter stretch goal.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was thinking about the Hornet mini expansion actually.
Yeah. And this turn, whenever you gain a flower, take 2 wasps. If you don't have 2 wasps in hand, so you're always drawing up to 2.
That's nice. And then you can just have a basic rule set where you don't use those, and then you have the simplicity.
Okay. On that note, I'm going to wrap it up. So we, just to give you an indication, we've been playing for an hour and 6 minutes. So deduct the introduction and our analysis after. I think we've hit about half an hour worth of gameplay, which I think is really cool. And that's kind of it. So, oops, I've got everything on my computer's going a bit mad at the second. So I'll just switch back to the last view. So we're all on screen now in a big view. So we'll give everyone a wave. Thank you very much, David, for taking part and showing us your game. I think you found our feedback useful, if not maybe a little bit confusing or overwhelming. But it's been really fun. So thank you very much for coming on. This is the first week that we've done this, and we would love to have you back if you come and make changes to the game as you go. I think we would all love to see that at some point.
Great.
I will also, sorry, I'll turn my video on so I'm not just a logo. There we go. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. And it's been an awesome Saturday night. I'm going to just switch to the last end screen, which is the Patreon support that we get to do stuff like this. And then, don't go off Zoom. We'll probably have a little chat afterwards. But see you all later.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. It's great.
Bye.